Hello, and welcome back to another special episode of Mistworld. We're going back in time once more, piercing through Melody's history. Melody, our intrepid bard, has been traveling through the surf up above the misty clouds of Mistworld, and has found themselves in a dangerous situation. A child has gone missing, a half-elf girl called Yendrin, Sylphira. During the day, there's been all these big searches through the local woods trying to find her, and the official search has been called off, save for two. First one, Lockie, if you want to introduce your character who's going to continue the search.
Oh, most certainly. I'll be playing the town butcher Duffrick Tinderson. He's a burly man. And although I said Tinderson, it's actually Tinderson. Actually, no, I wrote my name as Tinderson. It's meant to be Timberson, but I like Tinderson now. It's stuck. Tinderson it is. Burly man, looks almost like a dwarf except 6 foot tall, and just is out to prove himself that he's not a waste of space, I guess.
Beautiful. And Danielle, who are you playing tonight?
I'm Key Zebin. I actually am a dwarf. My family owns the local miniature pony farm, so we raise ponies to pull carts and also as meat animals, because miniature ponies, they're quite stocky. They do produce quite a lot of meat for one animal. So I know Duffy Tinderson reasonably
Right,
well.
you do.
Yes, yes. He's unofficially invited to all the dwarvish gatherings around the town. And I know little Yendrin quite well as well, because she comes and does riding lessons on our farm. So I couldn't just leave her lost overnight.
I think the thing the audience will want to know is, what's the word? I'd say canon. Do the female dwarves have beards?
I hadn't decided yet. I was going to leave that up to you.
Well, of
Or
course,
to Key.
it's very important. All dwarves have beards, and it's culturally very significant to us. Once our beards start to grow in, we do keep growing them. We don't cut them if at all possible. You know, occasionally a trim to get rid of split ends, but we take a great deal of care to use proper beard oils, braid ribbons and flowers into our beards where necessary. I personally have some of the mane hairs from my favorite Appaloosa ponies that I braid into my beard every now and then, along with ribbons. But that's, it's a little bit of an insensitive question, Duffy. You know this. We've described it to you in the past.
Oh, I know. I just like to hear you talk about it.
I know. You cannot touch my beard. I will not tell you again.
All right, but I will look onwards and longingly.
You can look, as long as you look with your eyes and not with your hands.
I'd like to roll to look.
The dice, the rules say I can't stop you from rolling.
Good. Good. A 1 and a 2. Henry or not, my dice rolls are still shit. I failed to look. I start grabbing for it.
I feel like what that means is like you're trying to look surreptitiously, like give it the old side eye admiration, and instead you just start staring slack jawed.
I wipe out the drool from my own beard.
And given that this is now
this happens every time.
Yes. And given that this is now Melody's murky past, is there any kind of changes, anything that might have happened between the Melody we're seeing here and the Melody we're seeing in the main continuity? Okay.
She is much more like, I don't know, upright and open. Like this, she's quite clearly like the kind of person that you send out to be the embedded journalist on your average with stories and adventurers and things, and she's probably coming back from one of those and has stumbled across this missing girl and has come to this sort of area and gone, right, there's a story here and I have to figure it out. She's a bit more sort of up and go than the quieter follow along Melody that we see in the on the ground, for want of a better phrase.
She still has the delusion that her parents love her.
Her parents do love her. She's doing an absolutely fine job. She's excellent. Yeah, it's fine.
At this age.
This age.
The immediate defensiveness is what really I liked about that statement.
Waiting for that conversation where their parents sit her down. It's like, when do you think you'll get a real job? I mean, the journalism thing has been fun, but
I think that says more about you, Lucky, than it does about me.
yeah.
Yes. So, and just to explain, because it's going to come up that Melody has wings, and why can't they just fly out of whatever danger that they find themselves in? So what has happened is this child has gone missing in these woods. They're in like this bowl surrounded by mountains, like this big ring. I think like a meteor crater. And what will eventually happen as the day gets darker, and what is making danger is that the mist will eventually come up and then over those mists and then spill down into the forest. So they'll be coming down on top of you, eventually. So for the most part, the search has gone down. It's just been written off. But if this child is left there, they will ultimately perish. So you guys are making this last minute dash to go inside. Before you go in, do you guys kind of say anything? Is there any kind of like rah or cheer or pep talk any of you guys go into?
I mean, I think most of the time we've been searching all day. So I think it's more of a somber mood at the moment where it's like, all right, we're getting to the point where if we're not careful, this mist will sink in and we'll all be sacrificing ourselves to the abyss. So I think it's best that we just stay focused, get to the center, and then we'll spread out from there as the center fills up. We just have to hope that we don't fall into the path that the mist seeps in through.
Yep, sounds good. Take care as it gets dark. We don't want you going missing as well, Duffy. And is Melody with us at the moment?
Oh yeah.
She would have like walked up to you as you were sort of sitting around planning your last ditch, and has sort of plunked down and done her prior to this conversation a bit of a like, what's going on, who are we, where are we at, what's happened, so far as you guys are aware. So she's with you and quite clearly not wandering off anywhere.
All right. And you seem like a trustworthy, reliable sort. Bard, was it Melody?
Yes.
Do take care not to get yourself lost. We wouldn't want to be searching you out as well in the forest.
No, that's why we draw the map as we go around, right? This is what's... And she's like holding up a bit of paper where she's clearly like sketched out a rough map of the bowl, which so far as she can see, so that they've got like things.
We artists, we got. Look, if you can keep up while drawing, that is very impressive. But look, make sure you keep your eyes up and about too. That mist comes in from all angles. It is very dangerous.
You get an eye roll of like, you get an eye roll of like, this is clearly not her first rodeo of someone who's like giving her the same piece of advice of keep your eyes off the piece of paper and get in and get involved.
All right. With each ticking moment, we lose a chance at losing the Endron. Shall we?
Let's.
And we start scurrying straight into the middle of the crater.
Now, is the plan that you guys are going to go in separate directions from each other to do this search, or are you all staying together?
I think I'd like to get everyone into the center, and then we can spread out from there, because the center is going to be the most dangerous place. The mist will sink down and settle into there. And so if we can get to the center and spread out from there, we probably have the best chance of catching her without dying, unless anyone thinks otherwise.
Yeah, I think also, but they probably aren't walking dead together. It's like that slight, if we're walking in anyway, you're walking in a like a line of three, sweeping as you go in, so that we know that there's
a goal is to get to the center and then move out again.
And watching for any sign of Yendrin.
Yeah.
So who's leading? Who's the pathfinder? Who's finding their way through?
I'm gonna guess that would probably be me, as perceptive and I have dark vision.
Oh, this would be like more of a survival thing, but I'll give you. So there'll be a 2d6 roll.
All right. And that's a 2 and a 5.
So with that single success, you kind of confidently make your way to the center of this crater. What you do, kind of the known landmark, how you know that you get there is this large fallen tree. It's got scorch marks from when it was taken down by lightning bolts.
What is the
Um,
terrain in the area like? Is it thick bush or forest? Or I know we're heading into a crater, but what
Mhm.
fills the crater?
Yeah, trees, forest, and brush.
Yeah.
So part of it is that like if this child was like hiding, they could be up a tree or under a bush. It's getting dark as well, especially given that you're in the shadows of the mountains. So all of this kind of reduces that vision. You guys have all got like torches and able to see comfortably from that around you, but you don't have like a massive radius.
I
Nice.
literally have dark vision as a dwarf. I can see perfectly in total darkness.
So you're the only one without a torch because you don't
Yep.
need that. You don't need that tall folk nonsense.
That probably also means that you're actually on one end of the line of three because you're trying to stay away from other people's
Yeah.
very bright torches, which will
Mhm.
inevitably blow out your
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, we're just
Beautiful.
walking down. It says, Yandran! Yandran!
So you reach this large tree. You do hear the sound of something large flying overhead, but you don't see what it is with the single success.
Mm.
I see. So when you say it would sound something large, we hear wind move, or does it
Like
sound more?
wings.
Yeah, okay, great. I think we'll look up and just stare into the blackness. I'm assuming it's a cloud-covered night and we can't see anything.
Well, you don't. Whatever it is was moving too fast.
Yeah, great.
So there's no clouds. It's just more fast.
He'll turn back and look to the side. Did you still hear that?
Is that a sky squid? That could be a sky squid.
I've had no sky squid move at that speed. I've cut up my fair share of them, and none of them have been able to move or make a sound like that.
Also, I
And
feel like
something's
it's fairly
frightened
well
them.
established that skyscrapers don't have wings. They're just like big gas bags.
Weird. Yeah.
All right, be on your guard. And from his hip, he'll pull out his cleaver. It's just
Mhm.
massive cleaver, and start walking down.
So are we going to split up or are we going to search as a group?
I think once we get to the center, we'll split up from
we
there.
got to the center.
We
We're
are?
at
Yeah.
the center.
Oh,
Melanie
great.
is gonna suggest perhaps I should go up while you guys are on the ground, and I can sweep the trees and the things in this area. I know we heard something going over the top, but perhaps being able to see it is a good plan short term. So like her plan is to go like so that her feet are above your heads, but not like high up in the crater, so that she can sweep unseen the trees in case the kids climbed.
Well, you're just full of tricks, aren't you, lass? Very impressive.
All right. Yell if anybody needs help and we'll center on the yell.
All right. Once we get up to the side, we'll meet on the north face of the crater. Everyone complains with that?
Seems fair.
Excellent. Stay safe. Stay on guard. And then you'll start trudging up through the other side of the crater. Yandran!
So I'm
You
gonna
wouldn't
stick
want
with
to come out
Duffrick.
to that. You're seeing this guy in a
No.
butcher's thing with a giant cleaver.
A torch in one
Going
hand,
for
a
you.
giant cleaver.
Yandran!
Melody's
I
like
want you.
sort of flitting around in almost like above where Key is, so that the two of them are kind of covering the same space but up and down, so that the dark vision can cover what's necessary and they can cover a larger area between
you
the
got
two of
dark
them
vision?
faster. Me? Nope.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think so.
But can fly and keep the torch up high so I can be seen.
Yeah.
I'm going
As
to
a
try to
beacon.
stay within a quick dash of Duffy. So not necessarily in visual contact, but not too far apart, so that if Yendrin is somewhere in between the two of us, she will at least hear one of us and hopefully come out of wherever she is.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
I'm also going to be calling for her as we walk.
All right. I'm gonna start with Duffrick, just because I like the idea of this butcher knife wielding madman going first.
Come out! I got some candy for you!
And a giant unmarked man. Just could you roll me a d6?
Just one?
Just one.
Okay. How does a 4 suit you?
Very well. As you're walking through, you don't see anything or a reason for this, but the temperature around you drops very suddenly.
Oh God. I wish I wore my wool my wool apron. It would have kept me warm. I like broke myself on that one. Forgot the word for apron.
Cloth thing on front.
Yes. Wish I wore my front cloth thing instead of just this loin one.
Yes, wearing only the back cloth whilst wandering around with a cleaver and offering a child sweets is so
Seems
so
so
reliable.
fine. So
Yeah.
I like the
totally
idea
fine.
that he is only wearing an apron and a loincloth, and the rest of him's just keeping him warm from pure body hair.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Dad!
You're gonna end up on a list.
Don't worry, I got a
You
cleaver.
said that like he's not on a list already.
Yeah.
All right. So with you just kind of like bracing up, no extra kind of precautions taken, that's fine. Key, could you simply give me a D6 roll as you're wandering around?
All right. Just the one?
Just the one?
That's a 6.
Nice. So you're going through and eventually come across a large stone with runes carved into it. And as you kind of go up to it, you suddenly look up and you see what looks like a snake, but then it hisses at you and unfurls what you realize were bat wings kind of curled up around it, and it starts to fly away.
So this winged snake was on the ground, on the rune stone?
On top of this rune covered stone.
Do I know anything about like dragons and wyverns and potential winged snake creatures? Is this something I would have heard of before?
Give me a 2d6 roll.
2 and a 3.
Nah.
No.
Nah. So it could be like dragons famously have bat-like wings, not like birdie feathery wings, and this thing had those kind of wings, so maybe.
I mean, it looks like a predatory wild animal to me, but on the other hand, I don't have any ponies with me and it seems to be going away, so I'm going to ignore it. It's not hurting me. I'm not going to hurt it. I
Excellent.
do yell up to Melody, watch out for the snake.
Melody, what's your reaction to watch out for the snake while you fly above the ground?
To whip around to the direction in which that is called from, such as to make sure I don't get slammed into by said snake ?
Would you like to give me a 2d6 roll to dodge the snake?
Sure. That's a 2 and a 3, so that ain't gonna do much.
But I fortunately subscribe to the idea that small animals like this are more scared of you than you are of them, even if flying snakes sounds terrifying to people.
And I do
so
have,
it doesn't actually come in
like,
for you.
Yeah, I do have like a giant torch as well, so like it's probably not coming towards me, but
so it comes.
She
at
definitely
you,
does the big
like,
wheel around in that direction.
It enters like your circle of light, and you both kind of have this moment.
Neither of you expected another flying thing to be there.
Yep.
Whereupon it then takes off the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
Melody, could you give me a D6 roll?
Sure can. Let's banish those 2 D6 from before and try a new one. That's a 6.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That dice over there.
You guys suck.
Nice. Good dice.
Showing
You
you
stay
up
there.
Nothing new.
According to the dice, we do it well.
But unfortunately, I'm not looking for successes or fails, or perhaps fortunately. But with you, Melody, you hear another beat of wings that's above you. With that success, whatever, you can't see what it is, it's staying out of your torchlight, but whatever it is suddenly sounds large, much larger than you.
Okay.
And you are, as we've established in the past, person-sized.
Yes, person-sized.
Mm.
She will look around to sort of see if she can see anything, knowing full well it is dark and that my only visibility is the width of the radius of this torchlight.
Yeah. Do you want to give me a searching roll? I think there'll be a 2d6 for you from memory.
I think so. I think it's something like that. A 4 and a 5.
So whatever it is, it's got bird-like wings. You're able to you see like a large silhouette, but you're not able to make out more details than that. Like
That's
against the cloud.
Cool.
Right.
She's not going to say anything further because she doesn't want to freak out those people on the ground at the moment.
Fair enough. They are much more exposed than you are.
Yeah.
Duffrick, you continue your search past this cold patch. Are you trying to stay? Where are you trying to stay? Like, are you trying to cover as much ground, like going fast? Are you because
No.
you don't have
I
like
mean, I don't think he's a fast guy in general. He's definitely stopping to cup and, shout out Yendrin every few steps. So I think he is the type of guy to travel in a straight line, but he does stop and yell regularly.
Excellent. So with that in mind, could you give me another D6 roll just to see what's up?
How does a 2 suit you?
Pretty good, actually. So as you're kind of cupping around and walking, you unfortunately fall and trip over a pit. Could you give me a 2d6 roll to see if you can dodge or kind of like catch yourself before you seriously injure yourself?
Would this be considered a save?
Yes.
I've got advantage on that thanks to my resolute.
I genuinely feel like this.
How does a 1, 4, and a 2 suit you?
It
doesn't matter how many dice I roll.
It sounds in line for you as a player.
Yep. Ah, son of a! Oh!
So even though you've apparently made the anti-Henry, you still continue to fail solidly and take 1 point of damage as you trip and fall and unable to break your fall quickly enough.
Right.
Your yelp of pain is heard by the other two, as well as the sudden pitching of your light.
Son of a mother! Oh, God, my ankle!
You doing okay, Duffy?
No! The son of a British matter! And I start swearing in old Looney Tunes style.
Do you need some help?
No! I'll be right. Yeah, takes a deep breath. He's like, I got this. And he tries to stand up and put some weight onto it.
You can walk, but it is painful, but it's not going to affect you otherwise.
He puts the handle of the cleaver in his mouth and bites down on it. I do this! And then takes a few steps before taking out the cleaver to yell, Yandra!
Awesome.
Wait, name's Yandra.
Yandra.
I've forgotten.
he's actually calling the name of his ex-wife.
No, that's Mabel.
Oh.
Okay.
Why does everyone leave me? Yandra!
All right. While this is all happening, Key, how do you either react or do you continue searching? How much distance are you keeping between yourself and the butcher?
I might move a little bit closer so that I can see the flicker of light from his torch off in the distance. But he's yelled that he doesn't need help and he seems to be moving again. So I'm going to keep going and searching for Yendrin. And I'm also calling for her, but maybe not yelling and screaming for her like Duffy is.
So it's more of an occasional kind of
Yendrin!
Yeah, are you there? I was going to start making whistle sounds like she's a dog, but she isn't. She's a half elf. All right, could you give me a D6 roll to see how well you're doing in this effort to close in with your friend?
It's a 3.
Excellent. So you're not traveling with the light, so you're moving slowly. But as a dwarf, you're quite short as well, just to establish the scene. at one point again you hear this whoosh of wings, and then you hear you hear something kind of strike the ground nearby and then take back off again. There are trees in your way, but you can try and roll a perception roll to see if you can see them.
All right. Given that I am both fleet of foot and perceptive, I'm gonna try to and sneaky. I'm gonna try to
Yes.
quietly run up to see what it was that landed and took off.
This is like one of those, like, owl strike or falcon strikes, like it's down and up. So I'm gonna say that you can do two of those things.
So I can be fast, quiet, or look.
Yeah. So fast, quiet, and have a look. Pick two.
Well, fast, quiet, and have a good look. I think it's
And have a
probably
good look,
technically
yeah.
true because, like, you can look regardless.
Let's go with fast and try to get a fairly decent look at what's going
Alright.
on.
So yeah, so give me a 3d6 roll on the fast, so you get a really good look at what it is.
654.
Nice. And then perception roll.
622.
Excellent. So you get very close to this creature. You reach an open space. There's no denying what you are seeing. It is a griffin.
Griffin.
So griffins are four-legged winged creatures with the head of a great eagle, but with the back legs and tail of a lion. Normally, they're good. They're kind of considered good. They're not like, uh, they tend to be like almost like unicorns. Like they tend to be quite noble, but also it's clearly hunting. So whether or not that's going to be good for you guys or not, you're not sure.
Well, again, don't have any of my herds here, but even though this is technically a good creature, I'm not sure how clever griffins are, and I'm not sure whether they're likely to hunt people. So having a child out in the woods while there's a griffin hunting probably isn't great. Also, one of our group is flying at easy striking height and might look tasty to a griffin. So I'm gonna.
That's
I mean, I look like a
racist.
giant. I'm gonna point out, I look like a giant insect, so probably quite tasty looking.
I'm gonna back away from the griffin to what I feel is a safe distance, and then call up to Melody to come down for a minute.
Okay. So
She
I
will,
assume by
she
then
will do that. She'll
the griffin's
flit
definitely
down.
like float back up again.
She will flit back down to you.
So it looks like there's a griffin hunting in these woods. I'm not sure if you want to be
Up
in
or
the
down.
air while it's hunting.
That's fair.
If you do, maybe keep an eye out for like striking eagle creatures from the sky.
Thank you. Dan, because I have the eidetic memory trait, does Melody know anything about griffins?
Would you say you're the type of person who read on a bunch of wild creatures before as part of your travels?
She's a journalist, so I would argue that if there are like other adventures that she might have gone on where there could have been creatures she needed to read up on, then probably yes. Specifically for this one, she's on her way back from another story, so not specifically.
I'll grant you on this one that like stories involving griffins would come up.
Yes, I believe is it oh, now I've got to remember if griffins hunt in packs. Crap.
Would you like to roll?
Kate brain.
Would you like to
Lions
roll?
do, eagles
yes,
don't.
Sure.
Could go either way.
I'll give you a 3d6 roll to remember specific facts.
It's a 4 to remember whether a griffin hunts in packs. That's basically what I'm trying to remember.
So
I've had
Well,
vague memories that they
before-
do hunt in small groups. If Kate Brain is any good here.
Yeah.
It
Well,
depends. It depends 100% on canon. Like some stories they do, some stories they don't.
Yeah, D&D lore, I think they hunt in small prides like
Well, I was going to
lions.
say, like, it really depends on which animal they go by, because eagles are solitary hunters,
Yes.
whereas lions
Hey,
are
Dan, in your
pride.
world that you are currently building, we are currently in.
And I mean, it's getting dark. Is it an eagle griffin or is it an owl griffin?
Mm.
I actually might know that because I did get quite a good look at it.
Mm.
I'm going to say that you see spotting it before it took back off again to from its rabbit that it hunted would be all the information you confirm. The night's still young. You might see it again and remember more information.
Okay, well, in which case, if I remember rightly, they do not, they have more of a tendency to quickly descend and eat off the ground than they do trying to catch things in the sky. But I don't know that makes it much easier, given I have, and she's like going to wave the torch in your general direction, this very large beacon that I am taking around with me.
Yendrin!
Then again, perhaps he is making himself a bigger target than I am. Who knows?
Thank you,
yeah.
Lucky, for that, because I was wondering, I was like, at what point do I point out that there is a much more obvious target?
Oh no! Like, I was waiting. I'm like I just need there to be a noise or something.
We should
there is a
probably
much
tell Duffy
burlier,
about the
louder
griffin.
target.
I think that is a good idea. I think you are faster on foot than I am in the air because I have to dodge all these trees and branches and things. So perhaps, and you know Duffy better than I do. Do you want to go tell him? And I will keep looking.
All right. I jog over to Duffy. I don't actually bother to call him until I get to him. I'm just going to jog up, give him a fright as I appear out of the darkness. Be like, hey, Duffster, so
God!
the griffin?
By the gods, what are you doing? You made me
Uh,
step in something. Look at this. And he starts trying to wipe his boot on something. Just wipe it on the
Yeah,
grass.
that might
Oh.
be griffin dung. There's a griffin around.
You don't say.
Yeah,
I
saw
mean,
it.
I haven't
Magnificent
served
creature.
griffin in a while.
Don't think they are good to eat.
Well, only if they're not prepared correctly. You fool.
Okay, then.
All right, well, what is our plan? Are we going to give up on Yendrin and try and get the good meats?
No, I think we're still going to try to save the child who's lost in the woods.
All right.
rather than
Look, I don't need the
hunting.
attitude. It's fine.
Have you spoken to Mabel recently at all?
Oh, please don't bring her up.
All right.
Much. It's too much.
All right.
I need to focus. I need to focus on the child. Yendrin!
I wince at the volume now that I'm closer to him and jog back away from Duffy.
These tears are for Yendrin and nothing to do with Mabel. Yendrin! Why do you leave me? Yendrin!
Yep. Yep.
All right. I keep an eye out for the griffin as well. Yendrin!
Maybe the griffin won't leave you. It'll come and try to eat you instead.
It'll be a fair fight. I'm going to sharpen the stick up with this butcher's knife of mine. And he grabs a branch off the the ground and tries carving a pike out of it.
Yeah.
We continue
you-
to search.
do you still remain separated? Is the next question though?
If he's
yeah.
gonna holler like that,
Yeah.
Melody's not going near him.
The
Given we
tears
know
are
there's a
making me
griffin.
uncomfortable, so I don't want to be around him.
No, given we know there's a griffin, she's like, that seems like a big old target that I don't want to be right now.
Within hollering range of. Fair.
Also, he's shouting that often. You know, if anything happens to him, we'll just need to listen for the sudden silence and we'll
Right.
know.
Right.
So peaceful. Oh God, he's dead.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
It's such a canary situation that I've inadvertently created in this game.
You have canary in the
I
coal mine
genuinely
this,
don't know how to deal with you
1000%.
sacrificing a party member so early. Like we're 20 minutes in and we've all agreed that Henry's character's sorry,
We
Loki's
haven't
character's
agreed that
first.
he's the sacrifice. We've just acknowledged the fact
We
that he's
just
acting
acknowledged it's going to
sacrificially.
happen.
Like,
It's not on purpose. It's just unavoidable at this point.
Yeah, it's like one of those chickens that pluck themselves and throw them into your fry pan, wanted to die. It'd be a shame not to eat it.
Totally happens like that.
Exactly.
Um,
also,
to
I just
give me
rolled a
fighting
6 for my
chance.
own sense of self-preservation, which is that she has not gone back up again, because
Yeah.
now that she thinks about it, a lot of aerial predators will rip the wings off of other things they see as a threat. So she's not going up. That'd be
That
bad.
sounds bad.
She's gonna spend time on the ground.
So you're saying with Key?
Yeah.
With that, so Key and Danny, Key and Melody on one side, so kind of circling, going back and forth, while
Zigzag sort of pattern,
yeah,
but
while
within
Duffrick's
Kui of
screaming and flailing. All right.
Pretty much, yep.
My ankle hurts so bad, but not
Duffrick
as much as my heart.
just because I love the fact that you are so dedicated to this position, I'm not going to make you roll. I'm just going to give you a good thing that happens to your character. Although initially it's not going to sound like that.
Good.
And that is simply that you once again fall without hurting yourself, and then realize you've fallen over an adventurer's corpse.
Oh God, yeah, Duran! Oh no, it is just an adventurer. Good lad, and he slaps his cheek. Oh, it's very cold.
Very cold.
Duffy, are you okay? You're not yelling anymore.
I just found the dead body. It's not Yamtron. We can keep looking. Checking over, do I recognize this person at all?
So random adventurer, like every now and then adventurers will come here to kind of try and loot a gear and try and find items that will normally be covered by the mist at nighttime. And obviously this one stayed too long. It might be could be seen as a grim reminder of if you guys stay out here too long, what could happen. But what you do spot is you spot a little pouch with some coins inside, if you wish to take those.
Yeah,
And
nice. I'll, in all honesty, I think Duffrick's the type of guy who'd pick up the body. He'd just like throw it over his shoulder and keep walking. It's just, he's a big burly dude, and I think he's just like,
Meat
I gotta
pies
do
tomorrow.
my part. Yeah. We don't
Worst
question
pies.
where the meat comes from. We just
Worst pies
enjoy
in
the
this
meal.
world.
Fancy little fop, finest in the shop.
the fact that I've already introduced cannibalism and blood drinking into this system means I cannot stop what is
Again,
happening.
like
I mean, he is Tinderson. I mean, Tinderston is bloodthirsty as it is. So.
You also see what looks like a gleaming short sword on their side. If you wish to avail of that, or are you going to leave them with their gear?
No, I think he'll leave him with his gear. I mean, he feels more comfortable with a butcher's knife than anything else.
Fair.
So he just picks up the body. He's like, I'll take it with me. Keep looking. And I
right.
think he'll chat along the way. It's just like, no, you won't be leaving me because you can't. Yeah, Dran!
That is so creepy.
I
You know that, right?
And I visualized the corpse wincing from the volume,
Yeah.
despite the fact that it's not like I'm genuinely not undead. It's just that loud.
Yeah, no, he'll just keep trudging up and then like, and step and out, and step and out. Because his ankle's still killing him.
I feel like if anything, this character's a advertisement for therapy. Anyway, Key, give me a D6 roll, please.
All right, let's see what we got. That's another 3.
Interesting.
Mm.
So as you are walking through, you've got Melody by your side, so I'm going to count this as both of you. You come across what looks like a small, you're kind of starting to zigzag close to the outer rim of this crater. It's very uneven. It's not like an actual circular crater, but it has that wall thing. And you
Mhm.
see what looks like there's been a bit of a hill slide or a minor avalanche, not deadly, but it seems to have cleared away a cave entrance
Mm.
that was previously covered up.
I will carefully and cautiously poke my head into the cave and call for Yendrin. Does it look
Given
like there's anything in the cave?
given dirt
d-
ground, also any footprints going into said cave, because it is likely to be dusty, rocky, not heavy, thick mud.
mm.
If that's the case.
Yeah, so one of you can give me a noticing survival perception roll, whoever wants to do one of those.
So that perception stat you have that's way better than mine is going to be.
Does that mean that I get to use 3d6 for perception?
You do indeed.
Excellent. 1, 2, 4.
It's,
Duffy's
I mean,
infected your dice.
Yeah, I've spent too much time with the corpse.
So the simple matter of it is, even though it is quite muddy, it's also very badly churned up. So it's very hard to tell what could have been footprints or what could have been what could have been footprints or could have just been natural formations from the mud. It's also hard to tell how long ago this was. Like this could have happened yesterday, it could happen a month or two ago. Um, like it's only recent, but not like, you know, you didn't hear it happening, so it kind of been just now type situation. Also include as a part of that, with the echoes in the cave, you don't know if you heard a call back or not.
Damn. Well, we're almost at the other side of the crater. I think maybe it's worth investigating the cave a little bit further. I can't tell if Yendrin's in here or not. Although Duffy does have a good set of lungs on him. Maybe we should bring him over here. Get him to yell into the cave. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to go and jog over to Duffy again and
Appear
tell
out
him
of the
that
darkness.
appear out of the darkness, giving him another fright. Find him
You come to a
carrying the
point where
corpse
he's-
over his shoulder. Like,
No, he's sat down. He's taking a break. He's put the body opposite of him, and he's having a like fireside chat without a phone.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, look, it is it's sad that you were on your own when you died. No one wants to be on their own. It is difficult to live like that. I know. Oh, hello, Key.
hey,
I just
Duffy.
just stretching out my ankle and yes, sorry, no sign of Kendron yet. Kendron! No, nothing. See, how you doing?
We found a cave, and since you are so much louder than me or Melody, we thought maybe you could call for Yendrin into the cave and see if she could hear you if she's gone in there to shelter from, say, the griffin.
Oh, I mean, no, we could do that. You wait here as he gestures towards the dead body.
Do you
I'll be
need
back
some
for
help
you.
with? No, you're
In-
fine. Okay.
Yeah, no, if you're willing to take them, I feel bad that they're here on their own. I mean, with Griffins out, we wouldn't be able to identify them come tomorrow morning should they be found. Let's show me where the cave is. We'll come back for them.
All right. I will show Duffy where the cave is. Is it going to be super hard to just carry this corpse with me? Apparently Duffy can't carry it.
I mean, I could. I
it's-
just thought we were in a rush.
Yeah, it's definitely going to slow you down. Like, show me a way that you can carry a corpse and move at your normal pace when you're not like some kind of emergency services worker or
Yeah,
something.
no, I think
you know?
if you went to pick it up, Duffy, but look, I got it. I just thought we were in a bit more of a rush. Look, I got, and then throws him over his shoulder. All right, let's. Oh, nearly dropped the coin pouch. I'll hold on to that. And lead the way.
All right. Head back over to the cave.
Beautiful. So you reach back to cave. I'll say Melody stayed there with the torch,
Yeah,
so you're able to find
she
it the
absolutely did, just as a beacon.
Yeah. You go inside, you yell for the name. Um, if
Yandran!
if you want to give me once again a perception roll to see what you
Just a
know.
basic test or one?
I'll say given that we've already had one failure from Key, I'll get you to do a basic test. Yes.
Fancy. Yeah, there's 2 4s, so you...
So it's been great again. Like, but I think more to the point that this time you do it so loud and the echoes are so numerous that
Yandran!
you've got no
Yandran!
idea
Yeah.
if there was a response or not.
I heard someone in there. They called back the Yandran. Seems a little odd.
What is our timing looking like? Do we know about how long we have before the mist starts filling this crater?
Give me a 2d6 knowledge roll.
Because that is something that I'm totally good at. Oh,
Mhm.
6 and a 2. Apparently I am.
Yeah.
Yay!
So at this point you're kind of looking around. The sun's gone down, so you can no longer see the sun at all. It was kind of dusky when you guys were starting, so you'd be estimated it's been about 45 minutes or so of this at this point. You've got I think I said 3 hours before. I'm going to extend it out to 4. To 4 hours at this point.
It is
So you got
daylight
some
savings.
time. Yeah. So you got some time, but at the same time, you also need to make it back. So like, it's not like you got all night.
All right. All right, look, I'll lead the way. I've got the torch. You wait here. Melody, meet adventurer. This is Melody. All right.
Can I just, how fresh is this corpse, Dan? Important piece of information.
So it's withered. So this is definitely this is a corpse that's died from exposure to mist.
Oh yeah, more in
So
terms of like how broken down by the elements and very, very corpseified.
It's been
A
turned
week?
into jerky. So
Yeah, cool.
it's been preserved. It's very hard to
Cool.
tell.
Is,
And,
is that almost an instant procedure? As soon as you breathe in the mist, you jerkify?
Yes.
Nice.
Your fleshy bits get jerked.
I like
you
freezing.
said that. You have no right of blame now at all.
We are
Dan.
infecting you, Dan.
My word.
I used to be such a good person, and then
You did.
Uh-huh.
You
He's
used to
jerking
be
with
so
the best of
sweet
us.
and innocent.
All right. Since the podcast has taken this turn, let's all take it in turns with the jerky. We want to
The reason I
roleplay
was
this
gonna
heavily
ask
for the next 30 minutes.
was to be like,
We've only got a few hours before the mist sets in. Be quick.
Did you bring the
Loop?
very dead guy for a reason, or is he just a toy now?
I mean, I wasn't going to word to this toy as much as a potential new friend. I feel bad that the family doesn't know. I mean, we can't find Kendron. Imagine the parents never knowing, whereas this person, I'm sure, has parents as well.
That's
But
surprising
now is the
of you, Duffy.
Just like
Well.
looking at you like, okay, priorities. Okay, shall we look in the perhaps we can leave him as a guard for the outside, so we can go faster in case we do find her.
No, absolutely. I just thought, being that with the griffins that were mentioned, I thought this jerky person would be a delicious snack. So I was trying to avoid not being able to recognize their face any more than the mummification that we already have. Look, we're getting besides the point. This is about Yendrin and nothing else, not even Mabel. All right, now let's get on in here.
She's gonna look to Kit. Who is Mabel?
Don't speak her name. She's done enough tonight.
You lead the way into the cave, Duffy.
I will.
I'll Melody and I'll
Doesn't turn
follow.
back to face you.
I will quietly tell Melody about Mabel, who is Duffy's ex-wife, who left him for the baker. That everyone in town knows and nobody talks about it because it's all super awkward.
You know, she cheats on him with the candlestick maker.
I did not know that.
I mean, it might not be true, but if I start saying it, then she might come back because the baker wouldn't want to. No, he wouldn't. I would. Let's go. And we'll start. He'll lean over and step into the cave. If you look
That
carefully, you see teardrops
toxic,
where he walks.
so toxic relationship.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
Melody's supposed to be. He seems fine about it, and it seems like everyone is going to end up so very happy in this situation.
Are you sure you're a professional storyteller?
She's got like the biggest sarcasm. Like your sarcasm meter is going off like nobody's business. It's very clear that she's mocking him without wanting to say it that way in case he overhears what she's saying.
Yeah, so Duffrick will kind of lean forward and start, passing under the rafters. I'm assuming he has to bend over to try and make his way through this small cave.
Yeah. So you enter in, you can start going down. This is a lot. You get from the echoes, you do get the feeling this is a large cave. As you go through, you eventually pass what looks like some kind of what's the word for like a lectern, like something you put a book on.
Yeah,
And,
lectern.
yeah.
Yeah, and a stone slab in this open space.
I mean, I want to say that this isn't naturally forming.
Yeah, I had questions as well.
It's hewn from rock, like from this area, but it definitely looks like it's been made. Not well, like it's not been like a sort of professional level quality, but it's definitely been handmade at some point. What's
Can
hard
I
to tell
do
is how
a
old it is.
knowledge roll of the town to see whether there's ever been mention of this type of environment?
Sure.
Basic test.
Basic test for you.
Strange cults,
Double one.
smugglers.
Critical fail.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there've been strange cults and smugglers, maybe strange cults of smugglers in the town's past.
I
Several of
genuinely
them.
wish sometimes, Lockie, that I could say, like, forget the rolls. I'm just going to tell you shit because otherwise you'll never know anything.
I think that's just how my character works. I haven't
I
rolled
kind
a
of
single
want to let
success this
I kind of want to
evening.
let you do that, and then see if my eidetic memory of like stories and stuff can give me anything.
Yeah, no,
I kind of want to see your fail first.
No, I think straight away that Duffrick is amazed and thinks some kind of magic made this naturally out of the out of the rock. It's the only explanation.
If you want to give me a 2d6 roll as well,
I
given that
rolled
you're
two
not a
fives.
local, 2 5s. I was going to say because you're not a local,
Not a
but you
local.
might have read something before you came
Yeah.
here. Cool. So with those two successes, look, one of the kind of things about Mistworld is that it is such a melting pot of cultures. People kind of scrambled up to the top of the mountains to survive. So it's not less about like what was around here before as what people brought with them.
Yeah.
One of the kind of things that you recognize about this is that it does seem to be tied to a worship of a trinity, like these three figures. You kind of recognize some of the marks on the altar as being a part of that, but you don't remember much more than that.
Okay. There is perhaps some worship here. It looks a bit like there are three people or three things perhaps that get worshipped. I do not know your little town so well, but there are certainly religions and cultures around the place that have similar things to this.
I think I understand. Like this here could be a butcher's table, gesturing to the lectern. And over there was the baker and the candlestick maker somewhere at the back. This is the Holy Trinity that's being explanated here.
I look
Good thing
around
we
the
found
Look at
cave.
you like you're a dumbass. Like Melody's looking at you like you're an absolute dumbass.
Double ones, baby.
I ignore the traumatized butcher and look around the cave to see if there's anywhere that a child could be hiding or could have gone and gotten stuck or something.
Not from where you guys are. But also keep in mind it does go deeper. So yes and no, basically.
All right. Now that we have a sign that the gods have sent us about my holy future, Yendrin will be returned to us. Yendrin!
Melody reacts real big because we're
Yendrin!
now in an internal space, and this is like real loud.
Yes, it is real loud indeed. You hear nothing.
Maybe she was sacrificed to make this place. I can see no other explanation. It is beautiful.
At this
You-
point, she's been gone all day,
Mhm.
or for at least that long, and we haven't found her, and she hasn't replied even to all of the yelling, which I am certain was audible across the entire crater.
Mm.
That means that she's either stuck somewhere or injured. Chances of her being down in the cave versus outside. What do we think?
I think if you have perhaps heard something like what we have identified as a griffin, that perhaps you, like we somewhat have, seek shelter of sort, and perhaps she has gone deeper. It's perhaps why she did not hear outside or the yelling. And if it's in here, I mean, I don't know with all of these echoes bouncing around. Like one of the first rules of sound is you want clean audio, yeah? So this is not going to be clean audio. This is just how you say, noise.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I mean, we can always go deeper, as Mabel used to say. Let us continue.
Melody's going to ignore what you just said and leave you standing there and continue down deeper into the cave. Like, that is we are not touching that.
Let's go hope we don't find Balrogs. All right. We're going to search deeper in the cave.
Beautiful.
As we're walking, Duffrick's like, I mean, you guys are cool, yeah? Just putting that out there, a little question. I mean, we're close now. We've been through a lot. I mean,
you can't touch my beard, Duffrick.
I didn't want to. I was just asking, I mean, do we really trust Gary, the baker? I mean, it could be that he stole Yendrin. He seems like the type. We should probably let the people know that he might have stolen her. It seems only fair. Thoughts?
I do not know this person you are talking about.
Oh, I mean, from what you've heard, what I've told you, you can only imagine what he's like.
Duffy.
She doesn't respond, but she very much stops herself from responding.
What?
Gary the baker used to be your best friend.
Used to. That things change. People become children and kidnappers. These things happen.
I think maybe you should go see your therapist again. I'm not sure why you stopped. I think you need to start going again.
He asks me to stop thinking about her. Let her move on. She doesn't want to be with me. I don't want to accept it. I miss Yendrin so much. Yendrin! This has been good.
This is getting more and more disturbing.
Let's just keep looking for the child. We'll put a pin in this for now, but think about it. Help your old pal Duffrick out. You good people.
Yeah. You know what? We've just had foals. I think that you need something to take care of. I think that'll help.
A good steak would be nice, yes.
Not where I was going with that, but sure. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
We keep looking.
My favorite part is that I haven't said anything for a while now, and you guys have been torturing each other.
I'm enjoying it thoroughly.
I've barely said anything for a while.
All right. This is your backstory, and I have fallen in love with Duffrick.
No, it works real well. I'm just like, yep.
All right. You guys continue on searching. You round a corner, and you almost stumble into, by the light of the two torches, a large wolf that seems to have made this its den. You can see it's got like bubbles coming up from its skin. It's got some disease or some infection to it. But it does look up at you three and start growling. Roll for initiative.
Oh
2d6, give me
man,
the total.
3 for 2.
6
Ooh,
total.
first 6 of the evening. I rolled an 8 total.
That is a 4 and a 6, so 10.
Can you put it in the chat because I am that kind of useless GM that will forget halfway
Certainly.
through. All right, excellent. Thank you.
Perfect. Reverse order. Nailed it, guys.
And completely, I love the fact you guys actually did it in order. Uh, you might not consciously make my job easier, but you do try. Um, good news is that Key, you get to go first.
Okay. I am going to pick up my staff and try to smack the wolf on the nose and get it to go away.
All right, roll to go away.
So, because I don't generally jump into combat with my other character, remind me, for my mastered weapon, is that 2d6 or 3?
3, baby.
3, baby.
3. Excellent. 5, 3, and a 4.
Nice. So you smack it good. I'm gonna call this a heavy weapon because it takes 2 hands to kind of swing a staff effectively. What that means for me is if you manage to get a 2 successes, you'll do 2 damage. At least as far as it's because officially it means that you get like reach, like you can reach from further behind. But I feel like that's stupid in a theater of the mind situation. So instead, you've got the possibility of dealing double damage.
Seems fair.
Yep, you thump it good. It is still alive, and it's also its turn. Given that you tried to bite it, you hit it. It's going to try and hit you. Oh, so you got a second action,
Oh,
so you can swing for the rafters again. Or you can dodge. You can run and let one of these other idiots in front.
I might go with dodge or evade for my second action.
Good call, because it rolled a success on its first attack against you. What that means for you as a goblin. Oh, actually,
No,
goblins.
dwarf.
Sorry, dwarf. That's right. I was going to say goblins get a natural evade anyway, so you don't need to take the action. But since you're a dwarf, you do have to. Roll a 1d6 to see if you avoid getting hurt.
That's a 3.
So you take 1 point of damage. It does go for you again, so you get another chance to get out of the way.
So I roll 1d6 again.
1d6 again, yep.
5.
Cool. So you take 1 point of damage, but manage to avoid the second one as it lunges at you.
Excellent.
All right, that's its turn. It is now Melody's turn, I believe.
Nope.
I think it would be Duffrick's, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Duffrick chimes in, is like, get out of there! And he'll run up with his butcher's knife, the cleaver, and give it a smack.
All right. Swing and a miss? No?
Probably. A 1 and a 3. He misses.
Well
I will go for a second smack for a 1 and a 2, which is worse. And because I have the Barfighter feat as my trait, I get all improvised weapons. If I use them, I get to take an extra attack, extra action each turn. So I get 3 attacks. For a 6 and a 1. There we go.
Hit.
I was going to say, I think the real problem was that you're trying to smack it instead of stab it, and you remembered on your third swing to actually try and get it with the pointy end and the flat part, and managed to connect with it.
This meat's gone bad. He'll chop at it and do some damage, I guess.
You do.
Good.
Melody, you're up.
She is going to try and get a move to get around the other side of it so that they're not all together. Her tactic, the one thing she has learned from a bunch of other adventurers is get away from don't all be together when there's something attacking you so that they can't hit you all at once.
Yeah.
And she will use her rapier type sword, which I think we agreed on is what she has.
Yep.
And have a crack at giving it a stab to the side. I think is just a 2d6.
3d6.
3d6?
Is it your mastered weapon? I'm assuming you
Yes.
have a mastered weapon, so it would just be
It would
3d6.
probably be, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you gave your character at the start is your master
Yeah,
weapon, basically.
3, 3, and a 5.
So strike 1.
Do I only,
A
I only
5
get
doesn't
one, though?
count?
Yeah, no, like as in you hit it once, it's still
Oh.
got you still got
Got
another
it.
action.
No, I don't,
though?
because if I move,
Oh, you moved.
then that's one action, and then the stab is a second.
Cool.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Am I wrong about the rules of this game?
No.
I think you can claim that there's some free movement in your attack, depending on how it's done.
She's deliberately trying to make it so that the three of us are not standing together because we all came in the same bit. So I think that's probably.
Oh, yeah, if you're moving far enough away that you're distinctly separate from where you were, then I would agree that that's an action move. All right, excellent. Key, you're up again.
I smack the wolf again with my staff.
All right, go for it.
Bad dog.
Down.
That's 2 5s.
Hey.
So with that, you deal 2 points of damage over to one. And as what happens when you smack down on its head and yell "bad dog," you crush its skull in a bit easier than you probably thought it should have been. Like it was a bit more brittle than a kind of normal creature, I guess.
Oh,
It was a mercy killing. It wasn't well.
I can't even use this meat. Is it dead?
Absolutely.
Good. All right. Let's look around for the corpse of Yendrin.
All right. If each of you want to give me a searching roll, yes, you get advantage on that key.
I will do that.
A 6 and
two,
a 1.
2
I
6s
also
and a
got
2.
a 6
Fuck
and a
yourself.
1.
So with that extraordinarily thorough search, I can confirm 110% there are no signs of a child ever having entered not only this particular room that you're in, but this cave at all.
Cave at all. Cool.
All right.
It must have consumed her at the front. It is hard to think about.
You have an unhealthy fascination with death.
I live it literally every day. The cow comes in, the cow doesn't come out. But the
I
customers
did
do.
not know you were also the abattoir as well as being the butcher. Like, I did not know you did both of the things.
You
That's
have to.
very
That's, I mean, there's like a town population of 30 people. I mean, there's not enough to only have a butcher and an abattoir. You need to do it all once.
I'm going to lead these two out of the cave while they discuss butchering and possibly abattoirs.
Nice. I go deep into detail on how it's done.
Way too much detail.
She stops
Like,
listening about
more
halfway
detail
through,
than
but
anyone
but has
wanted.
nailed the nod along and fake listen.
I noticed you stopped writing.
Oh, that is because I needed to make sure I did not fall, as you suggested earlier.
Oh,
Like
all
she
right,
is
sorry.
like fully.
Must
just
be
like,
good memory because I've mentioned several different ways to skin the cats.
Note to self for next session. Knows many ways to skin cat.
And only 4 of those ways also work on rabbits.
I feel like that's a kind of a weak point of doing Melody's backstory is that she will remember every detail.
Yes, because I have identical.
Every random fact that this is going to come up
Oh.
is absolutely fresh
But-
in their mind.
It means that you're going to know so many things about griffins, caves, random
Maybe.
Trinity worshipping cults.
Yep.
I think the hard part would be, sieving the truth from the shit. Like, Duffrick has gone through so many things that are incorrect tonight, but that's in your memory now. You
Yeah.
just have to know that, great, that's there. The knowledge that this
The
magical
knowledge
god.
that is what some people believe. And the knowledge of how careful she has to be when she writes about those particular topics.
That's good. Anyway, So-
We emerge from the
we
cave.
emerge. Is my dead body still there?
Well,
That
I
is
don't
a
think I've
sentence
implied
that
any
sounds
form of
very different
ownership
to what you said.
over this poor corpse that you've left languishing outside.
I didn't know how best to describe it.
Maybe
The
not your corpse.
Yes. I'm personally upset about the idea of it being your corpse. Um,
I call dibs.
she's wrote
He's
you.
carried it at least like 200 meters.
That's it. Everyone knows that distance traveled is 9/10 of the law.
I will say that some of your corpse is there as you come out and you see the arm still laying where you found it, but the rest of the body is no more.
Duffrick falls to his knees. Why does everyone leave me? Why?
Melody's eyes have immediately gone up to see if she can see the griffin and or the weird snake thing that got her in the sky. Almost got her in the sky.
So give me a 2d6 roll as you scan with your limited torchlight.
3 and a 1. Can't see jack.
It's too dark, and they both move very quickly, so is the
Yeah.
other factor as well. So that's the other thing that might be limiting what you can see.
Yep.
All right. We failed in our mission to return both the child and this poor soul. I am a failure. It is no wonder that Mabel left me. I see it now. My psychiatrist was right. I am a failure.
So
Just leave me for the mist.
we're kind of up on almost on the side of the crater, so we're a little bit higher than most of the bowl, right?
Mhm. At this point, yes.
If I look out across this crater valley, can
Mhm.
I see any other landmarks or features that might potentially hold a lost child? You know, a stream, river, fallen trees. I don't know, any points of interest.
Sure. What without needing to roll as you look around, you do see there's a tree off center, like not quite where you guys started from, that fallen tree, but there is another one there, and it's glowing. It seems to be glowing in the night light with a bit of a purplish aura. So you've got that as a kind of landmark to go to try and aim for. And it's very visible. Aside from that, I'll get you to do me a 3d6 roll to see to look for something less obvious.
Okay, let's. No.
Mm.
My maximum is a 2.
Yeah. So yeah, so with that, it's hard to tell because like it is quite a lot of trees, a lot of undergrowth. And even though you have dark vision, it doesn't mean that you get to see every sharp detail past a certain point as well. So yeah, so you're not sure, but that's the only thing that kind of easily stands out to you.
All right, let's go find the glowy purple tree. That's, I mean, it's glowing, so that's something.
All right. Let it be my final act before the mist takes me. And he picks up his cleaver and just slumps down the hill back towards the tree. Yeah.
I'm going to
So-
see if I can get us to take a slightly different route to the route we took coming here. So we at least cover a bit more ground on our way back towards the middle of the valley to get to that tree.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, you can do that without any roll at all. Just kind of take a bit of an arc around instead of straight to.
Yep.
So you take this arc around. You do hear, especially Key being so perceptive, you do hear the flight of those wings kind of going over you again. You're not sure if it's more than one, but there's definitely one kind of hunting in this area. At least one.
Given how much we've heard those wings, I suspect more than one.
Fair assumption. You are just about to reach the plant when you do see what looks like a large creature moving around next to it.
My companions cannot be trusted to understand if I try to make them stop quietly without actually saying anything. So I'm actually just going to put a hand on each of their shoulders and try to stop them from moving forward and say very quietly, there's something there.
I feel it. I feel it between us. And he reaches for your beard. There is something there.
Oh my God, Duffy. I smack him over the back of the head.
There's going to be a very animated conversation
It's
about
so
consent after this.
Can't you see I'm hurting inside more? And now this. Why?
Melody is going to immediately have gotten the message from Key because there's no reason why she wouldn't have told her to stop if there wasn't some reason, given that we've seen the Griffin together earlier. She's going to immediately take 2 giant steps away from Duffy because he is making a lot of noise.
Me too.
So Duffy, you only see Melody now. I'll say about 10 feet. I'll call it like 6 meters away from you, possibly lowering their torch as well.
There was
As you-
something there. Why do you leave us? You felt it. Falls to his knees.
Melody's gonna like shuffle, try and take some cover from trees or whatever, but still try and get a better look at whatever's up ahead because that is the direction in which Key was looking. She's not ignoring Duffy, but more just like, this is not going to help our situation if he continues to be like this.
So whatever it is makes a noise. And I'm going to describe it this way. There is an actual real creature in our actual real world called a catbird, which is a bird that is capable of making sounds like a cat. I bring this up because that's what I feel like a griffin sounds like, except it's some kind of lion bird. I cannot make this sound, but just understand that there is a real world reference for the roar and then pounce that is heading directly towards our good friend Duffy.
He embraces death.
I'm going to leap away from Duffy.
Duffy, or actually, again, could everyone give me another initiative roll? As the distinct lack of stealth in at least one character has resulted in another fight.
Good. Roll like trash. Inaccurate.
I also got 10, but you go first because I feel like you are closer
2
to
10s
this
and a
sitch
4.
than I am.
Nice work, team.
Yep. Unfortunately, the Griffin also got a 10, so I'm gonna ask all 3 of us, not counting Duffy, to re-roll just to establish order beyond that point.
I come into these games with such a cool character, and then I roll, and then I'm just like, all right, I guess I'll play them as per their roles.
Yes. You get to go first once again. You're some distance away, but you do see there's no mistaking this murderous lunge as this griffin strikes out at your loud friend.
I am going to use my first action to try to hide from the griffin in the trees, and my second action to use my slingshot and toss a rock at the griffin, not really aiming to hurt it so much as hoping to distract it and get Duffy some time to move out of the way.
Sure, I'll reverse those orders because it makes more sense that you like shoot it and then try and hide.
Yeah, that does make more sense.
So given that this isn't your mastered weapon, it will be just a 1d6 for you to try and use this effectively.
Yep. 3. I throw a rock somewhere.
Yeah, you throw a rock somewhere. It unfortunately does not have the effect that you're after. You can then roll me a 3d6 roll to see if you're able to hide. You coward.
It's a very large catbird. That's a 5.
Yeah. So you kind of casually sling a rock, realize that it went so wide you don't even know where it ended up, and then immediately take cover behind a bush. Its turn. I'm gonna say it spends its entire action closing with Duffy, and is just kind of looming over Duffrick.
Nice. So it runs in and pins him. Is that what the idea was?
Well, it's just coming to you as a melee character from a distance.
Okay.
It's meant it's both of actions closing with you. Melody, you're up.
Cool. she is going to it's almost patronizing at this point, but it's like the preemptive Song of Sorrow moment. So she has a song trait called the Song of Sorrow, which is an action that 1d3's worth of enemies who can hear must make a save. I get to pick who. And if they fail, they suffer disadvantage on their next action. So I don't have a d3. So what I'm going to do is roll a d6, and their paired numbers are the ones opposite each other. So
Yeah.
like
Not
if it's
1, 2,
one-
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's how
no,
I do it. Just
1,
half it.
6,
1, 6
like
thing.
4, 3, and 5, 2.
Cool. Good luck.
That is a 5, which is 2 enemies that there's only one enemy unless there's a second one that I am not blissfully aware of at this point. Dan.
I haven't chosen to reveal that
Entirely
yet.
possible.
So what this specifically says is 1d3, which is 2 enemies who can hear, must make a save test. The performer may select the enemies. Can I select one? And if there is another one, that one, please. Because I assume it can hear where I am.
It can hear,
Therefore,
but
it
you
would-
don't know where it is. So unless you're
It
going to
doesn't matter.
blindly
It says
fire into
what
the
it
dark.
specifically says is 1d3 enemies who can hear. I may select the enemies. I may not choose to.
All right, I'm going to make an unknown number of saves in response to this action.
That's fair. I do not expect to know how many saves you're making.
Either 1 or 2.
I'm just saying this has been written unclearly, and that is not my problem.
And you are taking advantage of said lack of clarity.
Rules lawyer for
Absolutely.
justice, friend.
I
Rules lawyer
respect
for
that.
justice.
And I will confirm only that the griffin currently attacking your compatriot has failed their save.
Excellent. So they suffer disadvantage on their next action, and then I'm going to choose to try and also hide, but ideally not right next to Key.
So,
I feel like we leapt in 2 different directions.
Yeah.
So
I
I
was
just
like,
want to be clear about
"Twiddly
your
song."
action.
You were like, throw the rock. I'm like, twiddly song. And we both go, woof.
but to be clear about what your action actually is, it is to strum a very loud beat, loud enough to disorientate several creatures in your vicinity, and then try and hide.
To invoke a deep sadness in said creatures, and then try and hide. Correct. Like every good, truly terrible musician, play a very sad song and leave the stage.
So as soon as you finish playing Wonderwall, I will allow you to roll your stealth roll.
The example in this particular trait is Hallelujah, just for those playing along.
Roll your stealth roll as you
Which is
strum a sad
2d6.
tune.
I've been playing too many other games. This is 2d6.
2d6.
Thank you. A 4 and a 2.
So unfortunately you take a bit too long in your bow and are unable to find hit cover.
That's fair.
Duff, you are up.
Like if that had succeeded, I would have been shocked.
Duffrick on his knees weeping, and then sees this monster run up beside him, and the sad music's playing as if he's a teen girl wanting to feel something, and puts the saddest songs on, just embraces it, and then grabs this rock that's near him and turns to the thing and just, God, you see, I'm hurting, and just bashes it in the head several times with the rock. I'm going to take
with the
hits.
rock. It'll be 2d6 because it's an improvised weapon, but you get you get your third strike in.
Yeah, it's always 2d6 because I don't get a mastered weapon with improvised.
Yep.
Okay, I got a 3 and a 1, a 6 and a 5, and then a 1 and a 1.
Cool. So you like wildly flailing. You do manage to crack it on the side of its head, as it's momentarily distracted by the sad tunes playing to your left. It does take 1 point of damage.
Good. Take that. Is it not 2 points? Because I got the 6 and a 5?
It's not a heavy weapon.
Cool.
I'd argue a rock in your hand isn't a
No,
heavy
that's
weapon.
fine. I think he hit it hard with the second hit and then lost his balance on the third and fell forward like, that's my turn.
That's your turn. Key, it is you again.
All right. So there's one griffin which is pouncing and trying to eat Duffy, and potentially other griffins in the area.
One
I'll
of
say
whom
an unknown number
might
of
be real sad.
that could or could not be sad. I have to allow some uncertainty.
All right. See, this is where being a magic using character would actually be useful, but I decided not to do that this time. Okay, I mean, my belief is all for one and one for all. I am going to run out and smack the griffin over the top of its head with my staff because, why not?
Roll to smack.
Break its neck for me.
And that's a 6.
Nice.
Yep. Just one success.
Just the one success.
Yep.
And second action, I will just smack it again.
All right, roll to smack.
And that's another one success.
All right. It's taken 3 points of damage now. It's now the Griffin's turn. So just to clarify, Melody, with your sad song, is it the first action or is it all actions?
It says their next action, so whatever the first of their actions is.
So I'm gonna say, given it normally attacks with advantage, it just rolls a 2d6 on its first one. It's still going after the tasty butcher just because he smells like rotting. It smells like meat.
That's fair.
He was carrying a corpse.
Smells
that
like
seems fair.
carrion.
Yeah, it smells like carrion. Manages to hit with that infected disadvantage. Which is lucky because the third dice would have connected. Smacks again, manages to take a bite out of the butcher. So you
Oh.
take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And then a second griffin is Schrodinger boxed, confirmed, still alive, and had made it save, and
Damn
lands
it.
next to the very loud bug.
Yep.
And tries to go for you. And manages to connect.
Cool. Ow.
Yep. It only has to one action as it spends its move landing, basically. Your turn.
Yep. You get a jump and yelp as a giant thing. In case you guys have missed the fact that there's another giant griffin, there's a distinct yelp from the direction of Melody. I'm not going to try and yelp in a French accent, but that's what you'd get because I don't think I can do it.
Le yelp.
like an actual yelp as opposed to an utterance. In which case, she's going to immediately like double stab with her rapier at it. So we get. Oh my god, I can't read these. 1, a 2, and a 6.
Connects.
And then I should get dice that aren't see-through so I can read them. A 4, a 4, and a 6.
Connects.
So
Hit mad.
get stabbed.
Get stabbed. Yeah. Such and such a.
Yeah.
Duff.
Seeing that Key and her lovely beard isn't threatened, and Melody and all her future life to live with is also in the range of a new attacker, he's going to pull himself together for a moment, pick up his cleaver, and we'll try and take down this first griffin. So 3 attacks.
Go for it.
God damn it. A 3 and a 2, a 5 and a 3, and another double 1.
Oh no.
So 1 of those attacks connected.
I feel like I have to do a critical effect on you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that critical effect will happen on the Griffin's turn.
Good. Love that for me.
But you do manage to hit it once.
Good.
Better than no times.
Yeah, no. Look, I'm shocked that I've managed to hit it twice out of 6. So 1 and 3 is not bad.
Not bad. Very good. For you.
Yeah.
Key, it's back around to your turn.
I'm gonna smack the griffin again. The same one with my staff.
Key, don't let it get your beard. It's too beautiful for this world.
Duffy is clearly distracting me. I don't get any successes with that.
Just shut up.
The sheer volume next to your ears is too distracting.
I will try to smack it a second time.
Roll to smack.
And I failed to smack it in the second one as well.
Yeah.
That's great.
Contagious.
Too shocked by the appearance of the second griffin. Your swings go wide.
Yes.
Awesome.
Swish.
All right.
Swish.
It's
I hit
turn.
nothing.
So as a result of that critical effect, the griffin that is attacking you, Duff, roars in pain from your connected hit, and the other one immediately turns from the bug and focuses on you. So all three of them, all two of them. Don't give it all the way
Three?
down.
Oh,
No, the blood armor.
So all two of them kind of turn and attack you.
The only person with plot armor this session is
I know.
me.
So I'm like, no, I never
Oh,
stood
no.
a chance.
They also have the equivalent of heavy weapons, given what they are. So, and they managed to get the first one managed to get 2 successful attacks on you.
Oh, good. 2 sacks. So lost
so you
another
take
2
2
points.
damage.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
But fortunately, that one's second attack misses.
Mm-hmm.
The other one similarly takes a swing at you, but only gets 1 success.
Oh, good. I'm losing health quickly.
Yep. You do hear wings above you, indicating a third one, given that particular
good.
catbird out of the bag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I believe Melody is your turn. You no longer have one in front of you.
Cool. Can I yet again sing a song of sorrow now that we can see if we can hit all 3 at the same time?
Sure.
So hey, I did roll I did roll a 4. Yay! So that's 3, which means I hit all 3 of them they get disadvantage on their next action.
Cool.
And I would like to move. How far from said purple tree are we currently?
So it took 2 actions to get to you guys from the purple tree. So I would say you're 2 actions away.
Can I move 1 action's worth? Basically, I'm just trying to be able to see if we can see the person we're here for, basically.
At the tree.
At the
Gendron!
tree. Yeah.
Sure. So you start I'll say as well, because you need to circle around, because otherwise you're like flying through the 2 griffins standing over Duff. So
Oh yeah, she's like singing her little song as she kind of goes around the edge, and then she's like, and her.
I was just trying to imagine what like a moderately fast-paced Hallelujah sounds like as you like.
Or maybe it's hang on. I can get you fast-paced sad song. Hang on. It's more like
I'm intrigued by this.
It's more like Strange Behavior, or Legend by 21 Pilots. There you go. Kids Aren't Alright by The Offspring. Something more that vibe.
Yeah. You blast out a punk rock song.
Yeah. Very much in her Warped Tour era. Just to get around.
To make the griffins, in an attempt to make the griffins sad enough that their attacks are affected. Unfortunately, the 2 griffins that you see seem to be fans of
Great.
of your songs, and in fact start bopping along quite happily and are unaffected.
There's 21 Pilots. I love
it. Nice. 21 Pilots.
My God, let's rip him apart to the beat.
Yes.
But yeah. I try and get 1 action's worth closer to the tree.
Great.
Duffrick, sorry.
Duffkirk. Good old
Duffkirk.
Duffkirk. Yeah, I think he's just going to keep wailing wildly. The bloodlust is setting. He's smelling his own blood on him.
Yep.
Let's do this. 3 attacks on we'll start with the first one that was been ripping him apart.
Go for it.
Holy shit. Okay. I got 3 hits. The first attack, 5 and 2.
Whoa.
Second attack, 3 and a 6. Third attack, 6 and a 5.
So you managed
Nice.
to finish off the first one you've been attacking. You managed to get another your final strike on
Nice.
the other one.
Yeah. Ribsindus is breathing heavily, standing there like just dripping blood all over him. Not sure if it's his or the Griffin's. Like, you're next. And he points the cleaver at him.
Yep. Fair.
If you're the one who ate my adventuring friend, I'm gonna make you pay.
You're up.
All right. So in my experience, predators usually don't keep attacking if whatever they're trying to attack is more dangerous than they thought.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see if I can scare the griffins away, just like shoo them away like I would from predators around the herds. So that we
I'll
don't
let you.
have to actually kill the other two.
Well, the third one hasn't landed yet. But you can certainly hear it circling around. I'll allow this, given you just killed one. But I would also say words like blood frenzy might make it hard. So give it a go.
All right. So what do I
2d6.
roll for that? 2d6. 6 and a 4.
All right. Given it's now the Griffin's turn, so you do hear this one that is attacking you guys kind of backs off, but in its backing off, it's now standing between you and the tree, the glowing tree. And you do hear like another one still hovering, but if you look up, you can kind of see it flying over you guys, but it doesn't seem to have it's again kind of like reacting to you. I'll assume that you're like roaring to try and establish how big you are.
Yeah,
It does
yelling
seem
something. That
yeah.
didn't really help with Duffy.
It does seem like it was about to land, but it is kind of hovering again between you guys and the trees. Right. Melody, you're up.
Yep. Can I? One is down. Yeah, heck, why not? I am going to. My other song is the Song of Haste.
Well, the real question is, have you learnt it yet, though?
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't learnt it yet. Never
Yeah,
mind.
because that one was a level up while you were in
That was a
the
level up.
surface.
Fine.
All you know is sad songs.
Sad songs. No more.
You don't want to be up on that
sad
stage.
songs. Am I too far away from them for a sadness to hit them?
Well, I would. I'm just sorry. I'm doing some mental gymnastics in my head,
It's okay.
to allow that to happen. I'll say yes, but you will lose if you continue running towards the tree. You will lose sight of them as you go. So
That's
you're like
fine.
doing it as
I
you
would
go.
want to do it. Basically, I would want to do it once and then leg it the last bit down the hill to see if she's down there. Basically, it's so I would only be doing it once anyway, and then I'd be coming back up again.
All right, so they'll make their rolls. You don't know if it's successful or not,
Nope,
and you make it
because
to
I
the
have sung
tree.
it and I have run away.
You
Down to see if I can see her, find her.
So good news and bad news time.
Mm-hmm.
So you do find this young half-elf tree at the base at the base.
The young half-elf tree. That's where they
half-elf
come
at the-
from.
Well, she's
Maybe.
only half elf. Maybe the other half is tree folk.
Could be. You find this child at the base of the tree. But when you kind of reach up, they're shivering and they're kind of obviously clearly freaked out, dehydrated as well. You
Yep.
pause a beat. I assume you give them some water from your canteen and try and
Yeah.
look them over. But when you do look up, you do see that the mist is coming in from 3/4 sides, and in fact has cut you off from the people you came in with the forest
Yep.
from. There is a small path out, but you're going to need to hustle.
Oh.
Do you want to roll me a 3d6 for 2d6 for hustling?
I can do a 3d6. Was it 3d6 or 2? I heard 3 there. I did hear
I'll give
you
you
say 3.
I was going to give you 3, but then I thought no, because you can't fly because
All
it's kind of clouding over you.
That is a 6 and a 2.
All right.
Forever.
So you do hear pain screams behind you, as your compatriots unfortunately fall. You're not sure if it's to Mist or if it's to the Griffins.
Ah, I'm dying from not the mist.
I was like, I wonder if I can try to ride a griffin.
Unfortunately, not in this one.
Not one that's probably eating your friend, to be fair.
You're so close to the village, back to the village that you started from, that you see
Yeah.
the lights and you think that you're almost there. But then you start coughing and you realize as you whip the torch around that the mist has surrounded you.
Yeah.
And despite your best efforts, you're not going to make it. Plot armor be damned. But then you hear a voice, a small voice, but a voice. I can save you, but you'll owe me. You don't know where it's coming from.
No, she does a solid like look around. Is owing you going to be a bad thing? Because if this is worse, then get me out of here.
It depends on how you feel about dying.
No, that's what like her basic thing is like, if owing you is going to be worse than death, let me die. But if it's not going to be worse than death, then get me out of here. Like save me from this.
Very well. And so what happens beyond that point? It's the morning, the sun comes up. Everyone is kind of disheartened, sad, feeling like this party that risked their lives to save this child.
Mabel walks out of the
didn't make it.
bakery looking really satisfied.
Yeah.
No, out of the candle
Wasn't
shop,
gonna go there.
actually.
Yes, you make it. Yeah.
Wasn't gonna go there, but sure. But then suddenly one of the people kind of on the interview says, I see something. And what they do see results into Melody carrying the Yendrin. Still, both of them still alive. And not sure how they should be. Yendrin didn't hear the voice. As far as they were concerned, they should have died. But they fell asleep and they don't remember what happened when anyone asked. But Melody knows. And maybe one day we will too. And that's it.
And by one day, we mean the season finale.
In like 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Will she live? Who knows?
And that's the end of Melody's backstory.
I'm gonna miss Duffrick so much.
Rip Duffrick. Rip.
Yeah.
Well, that happened in the past. Maybe there'll be like some time travel nonsense and Duffrick will turn up again.
Duffrick for you, Duffrick for me.
I'm Duffrick Tinderson, son of the Duffrick Tinderson.
From back when Mabel loved him.
Little did he know my mother was pregnant. She was actually breaking up with the butcher that night.
Oh dear.
I feel like I need to do some kind of encouraging epilogue.
Maybe something about how the kid is afterwards might be good.
The whole time Melody failed to see that the Griffins had eaten the bottom half of her. So you managed to save the top half of this poor half-elf child. But now she's literally a half-elf.
I'll say this. I'll say this as a kind of a potential hope for Duffrick and Key, that if Melody had turned around and looked backwards, they would have seen small flashes of blue light, but they missed it.
I mean, griffins are obviously something to do with the Fae.
Or when you grip a dwarf's beard just right, you feel the static electricity spark.
That is not canon. I am not allowing any of that as canon.
That's all right. If Melody had looked back, she would have seen Key smacking Duffy over the back of the head again.
I'm seeing stars.
Look. If Hades Town has taught me anything, it's don't look back.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
Absolute chaos.
It seems to be what we're good at.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for listening and putting up with that, people. We appreciate our time.
Thank you. And yes, this is the last backstory before the end.
Mm.
Ooh.